Welcome back, YouTube. I hope you had a good Wednesday. I apologize for not uploading a video yesterday. I actually recorded 3 separate times, and each time there was something wrong. By the time I got through everything and figured out what the issue was, it was already too late and I had other obligations I needed to get to. Today, I'm going to go over 2 trades, my best trade and worst trade. And the funny thing is, my worst trade is actually the one that I didn't take, which had the perfect setup and could have ended my day really quickly with 2 green trades. So go ahead and sit right there and we'll jump over to the charts. Alright, here we are on LCID. This morning, Lucid had a lot of volatility as well as a catalyst. So it was the obvious stock to trade for me anyway, because I've been trading it for several days. And I thought I was fairly familiar with the stock. I have been shorting this stock, so I was more comfortable with the short side. And today it had a lot of bullish momentum before lunchtime when it actually sold back off. So that was one of the traps I fell into, is I was familiar with short selling when I should have been ready to look for some bullish entries instead. Now, the first entry I took, I'm going to show you, and then it led into my best trade of the day. So I did set up for a VWAP break, and it actually got really close to fulfilling the patterns that I needed. We had a pull up, and then we lost VWAP, and then we had a few candles that again had really long wicks on them on both ends, and you could tell that nobody really knew where to go with this stock. And once I had these 2 wicks here that basically closed right at the VWAP, that is when I decided to take my short entry here. And it was actually not that bad of an entry. Unfortunately, it was way low off of the VWAP. Probably, yeah, we were about 20 cents off of the VWAP. So I actually didn't get in where I wanted, but I did get confirmation that it was moving lower. So that was really what I was looking for, and I was actually just looking for a break of this low right here. It did move lower. In fact, it gave a pretty nice move right off of the bat on this new candle at 9:36. It moved straight down, and I got about a 10 to 15 cent move. I was looking for a larger move. I was playing this as a loss of low of day, so I wanted to see a good 15-20 cent pop before I went ahead and hit my stop loss. I don't like taking a stop loss or profit / break even too early, because I feel like it just chops into my profits where they should be. So since this was the first trade of the day, I went ahead and as you can see, I let it shake out a little bit. It pulled back immediately off of this level here, off of the S1 level. And then it moved back up to the VWAP, unfortunately. Now, again, this wasn't the worst trade of the day. It wasn't very, very red. Again, I was able to stop out. It wasn't that bad. The good thing that turned actually into the best trade of the day. As soon as I stopped out from this short position, I looked at the volume that was coming in, where we had a green, a red, and as this volume built, I felt comfortable going ahead and reversing my position and actually going long on Lucid, which is exactly what I did. I stopped out here and I immediately smashed the long button. And we had a pop here, and it came down a little bit to this area right here, and then we had the curl up that we wanted. This initially made a good 50 cent move. The problem is, as you can see clear as day, I took a partial here, which was fine. This was actually about a 15 cent, so I was over 1R. I went ahead and hit that just for the initial pop, in case it was going to hit this topping level right here and come back down. We were still experiencing a lot of volatility. I had one of the worst hotkey snafus profit-wise that I've had in a long time. It wasn't an ad. What it was an all-out. I took all my profits right here. This was a bad mistake. because what you can see is this stock did not come anywhere close to my break even, or even if I would have set it down here around S1, it went back this way. I took all my profits out. When I did this, I actually wasn't too angry because it was a green trade and I was actually happy with the long on Lucid. But it was just really disappointing because I had an entry around 26.40, 26.45. So I was actually below the $0.50, which would have been a perfect stop loss. I mean, it would have been down here in this area below the S1. That's why it was really disappointing. As far as being the best trade, it was the most profitable trade that I had early on. So, even with a good trade, I was still disappointed. My hotkeys, I just hit the wrong hotkey. I hit the all out, took my profits too soon, and as you can see, I paid for it. Now, here I want to show you where my worst trade that I should have taken is. Here, very obvious, I went ahead and I took a short because I had confirmation on the S2 that it lost this level. So I grabbed a short here thinking that it was going to bounce back down, which it actually did, and I did secure some more profits here. I did not go red on this trade. It was a very small trade, barely even 10 cents. I was kind of hoping that it was going to move back down to this area here. But since it didn't, I did take my profits here and I got stopped out. Now, the second thing, which is very obvious, and this is where I really missed the boat this morning. Look at the time frame here. We are sitting at 9:40, which is right here. And then look at these two candles right here touching the 9 EMA. Here, on the 5-minute candle, what do we see? We see this candle dipping down, which would have correlated with this move, touching the VWAP, which would have given us a VWAP touch on the 5-minute candle. Secondly, what is very obvious, and everybody can see this from a mile around. A, B, C, D. I was too biased towards the short side to see an ABCD pattern set up in front of my eyes. And the funny thing is, I even stopped out on the C, which would have been perfectly fine, and then re-added once it bounced off of the 9 EMA, which is what I should have done, which would have correlated with this candle bouncing off the VWAP. Two confirmations, 2 time frame alignments at the same exact time, multiple supports with the 9, the VWAP, and 2 time frames. This set up for a awesome move, which we'll say conservatively 2670, moved all the way up to this previous level that we had marked 2713 in a matter of 2 candles. That would have been a 40-cent move. We then moved on higher before pulling back for another ABCD move, which ripped all the way over 28 eventually. And you can see here on the 5-minute, this is why I moved my camera to the top corner, so you could see the 5-minute just went straight to the moon this morning. There was some news in the afternoon that caused Lucid to tank, basically, and I took a few shorts there to try and even out some of the stuff, so I didn't finish too bad today. But this one really haunted me because I was so short biased from trading Lucid the past few days that I couldn't see the perfect ABCD pattern forming right in front of me. We had low volume red candles, volume starting to come in on a green, and we had an entry where we could have entered here or around the S2. If we wanted to be conservative and let this move on up before entering, we could have even done that because the volume that poured in here was just incredibly bullish. And I really missed a big one this morning. This is the equivalent of seeing a 4-pound largemouth swimming around in front of you, and you just not casting there. You seeing it, but you just don't feel like you can cast there, knowing the setup, knowing you have the right mind frame, knowing that in all cases, it should work. I had a perfect stop loss, which could have been even the VWAP. Even if I would have taken an entry off the 9, if it would have moved lower, we could have stopped out here at this level. Yeah, that's really it, guys. Lucid did a lot of movement today. I definitely overtraded Lucid trying to catch some of these reversals because Lucid went to the moon before it sold off. And I don't know what it's going to do tomorrow. I may try to trade it again. I may try to look for another stock. I did take a few trades on Tesla, which actually were successful. They were smaller sizes, but I did make a few dollars on Tesla. All in all, it wasn't that bad of a day considering the amount of trades I took. But again, this one, the trade that I didn't take is going to haunt me more than any of the bad trades that I did take. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I do appreciate you stopping by and checking out the video. I'm going to continue to give you guys content as this boot camp goes through and hopefully have some more green days to talk about than missed opportunities. Thanks you guys for stopping by. Take care.